Mastering the terminology of a profession is essential to enable you to communicate effectively in your field of study. Although the number of new terms may seem a bit overwhelming, confusing, and even complicated at first, you will find that their use soon becomes second nature to you. In today's video tutorials, I will unleash various tricks to use in order to be able to grasp all unfamiliar names given to the various anatomical regions of the body. And above all, introduce a wonderful surprise to you, which is actually a simple song I composed myself for the various anatomical regions of the body. So do well to watch to the end. So let's begin. We start from the upper to the lower parts of the body. So we start with the forehead. Now, as you know, the forehead is on the front part of the body. So we call it the frontal, as you can see over there, since it's in front. And that's the very first trick. So forehead goes with frontal. The next structure is the eyeball. So the eye is found in a socket. And as we often do, we move our eyes up or down or even left or right, and apparently rotate it. From this, you could see that the eye actually orbits in its socket. Hence, we can derive the name orbital for the eye, since it orbits in its socket. So eye goes with orbital. And that's another trick. Now, mouth. As you can see on the screen, we have a nice mouth widely open. Now, for this, I learned it very simple. As you know, all oral communications are conveyed by the mouth. So since the mouth is responsible for this important function that's conveying oral communications, it obviously bears the name oral. So that is it. Or sometimes called buccal. So oral for conveying oral communication, or sometimes called buccal. So that's the mouth. The next structure is the buttocks, or butt for short. Now the buttocks or butt consists of two round fleshy structures at the posterior part of the human body. Now what I realized was that it's the butt that actually glues us to our seat whenever we make an attempt to sit. So if this part of the body is what glues us onto our seats, then don't forget its name, gluteal, as you see on the screen. So buttocks for gluteal, what glues you to your seats. Okay, so the heart. For this one, I didn't struggle anyway because I was pretty familiar with what the anatomical name was. And that is cardiac, as you can see on the screen. Another way to be able to remember the name for the heart is, you know that the heart consists of cardiac muscles. So the name cardiac goes with the heart. Okay, armpit. So for armpit, don't forget it's found on the axial skeleton. So the name was pretty simple. Axillary, as you can see, found on the axial skeleton. And that's how I captured the anatomical terminology for armpit as well. Also, don't forget armpit has the letter A. Axillary also has the letter A. You can also use that as well. Okay, so for nose. Nose begins with N, likewise nasal, N. So they correspond, nose, nasal, NN. And that's how I learned that one. Pretty simple. Next is the breast. I believe you could remember those times you used to suck mama's big breast when you were a baby. You really enjoyed it, right? So this big breast of mama is what we call mammary. So keep in mind, mama corresponds to mammary. I'm very sure your mama will be embarrassed when she finds out that you're unable to give the anatomical name for a structure you were fed from since infancy. So kindly make mama proud by keeping mammary in your head as a name for breast. For stomach, that is gastric. We know stomach contains gastric juice that mostly works on protein foods like meat, eggs, and all that. Hence the name gastric corresponds to stomach. So stomach, gastric. So as you can see, we started from the very top and we are descending gradually. Now we are on the upper arm. Now upper arm brachial. Brachial sounds like breaking something, brachial, break. And that's obviously correct. Anytime you feel like breaking substances, our upper arm plays critical roles. So upper arm goes with brachial, breaking substances, breaking boundaries, brachial. So upper arm, that is it. Now when we introduce the prefix ante, that is ante, in front of brachial, we get something like Ante Brachial. And that is the name for the forearm. Very simple. So we know the arm is actually brachial, breaking something. So that's the upper arm. So the forearm goes with antebrachial. Very simple. Hope you remember that. So very silly, as I always say, but trust me, it works very well. Brachial for the upper arm and antebrachial for the lower arm. Now the next structure, palm. Now palm goes with palmar. For this one, it's very easy to commit to memory. Palm, palmar, PP. Just that the anatomical name just has ER. So that's the main difference. So palm, palmar. Very simple. Now there's one more important shortcut you need to know, and it's about the foot. Now as you can see, the foot is called the pedal. Now this is a structure that actually pedals our movements. So since it's associated with the word pedaling, its anatomical name becomes pedal, obviously. From this, you can imagine what's going to happen when we are without feet. We'll obviously not be able to walk. In more realistic conditions, we'll be like bicycles without pedals. So you can imagine how it's going to move when it gets to mountains. Again, the soles of our feet. And this is what actually plants us firmly on the ground anytime you're upright, be it walking, running, standing, or what have you. And it goes with the name plantar. So soles of our feet, plantar. So I hope it's getting more exciting. So trust me, with this creative comparison, I'm sure you'll be able to tell all the anatomical names of various body parts. So let's end with a more interesting anatomical region, that is the skin. Most of the time, when your friend or relative appears before you and looks very good, you're like, oh my God, you look so cute. Now, you referring to your friend as cute is simply an indirect way of complimenting the skin of your friend. So telling your friend you are cute looking simply means that the skin looks what? Good. So the skin looking cute is simply cutaneous. So the skin being cutaneous. So skin for cutaneous, cute looking. Yeah, so very funny, isn't it? Yeah, so the main video was structured to present to you tricks and strategies to be able to memorize the various anatomical regions of the body. And that is what we've done today. Now let's move to the surprise I told you about from the beginning of the video. That is the song I've made for memorizing the various anatomical regions of the body.
When I wake up in the morning, I open my buckle to brush, pedal on my foot to my drawer, Mammary chart I search for a book, anatomy is all I like. Pick my anatomy book on my palm, my butt's glued on the chair, I fix my cranius in the book, and orbit my eyes to the pages, for cardiac muscles of the heart. When I wake up in the morning, I open my buckle to brush, pedal on my foot to my drawer, with my breeches I search for a book, anatomy is all I like. Pick my anatomy book on my palm, my butt's glued on a chair, I fix my cranius in the book, and orbit my eyes to the pages, for cardiac muscles of the heart.
Yes, so that was the song. If you really enjoyed it, kindly like the video and subscribe to receive future updates. Thanks for watching.